something that connects them to that greater purpose and they're working towards that in their life, then there's a satisfaction and this aha moment that makes everything else brighter and more beautiful. And if I can help people find that.
Thank you for tuning into Time for You Evolve for female entrepreneurs. Remember, you have what it takes to achieve greatness. Your time is now. You're here with me, you're ready to change lives, and you're ready to change the world. Isn't it time to skip over the confusion and start creating sustainable and consistent results? We're going to pull back the curtain and start giving meaning to life in this podcast. Time for You Evolved. Hey, my name is Lisa Carmichael, and I am obsessed with everything online. It's no secret, in this crowded and highly competitive business world, we need to stand out. It's even more important at a deeper level to stand up for ourselves. I am a farm girl who grew up shy with zero confidence. If someone had suggested that I would eventually start a podcast, I would never have believed it. As a farm kid, I had the unique opportunity to embrace a holistic approach to life. All the seasons of growth were lessons that have helped me and other female entrepreneurs find success when they've been stuck and struggling. The Time for You Evolve podcast is here to help you navigate business online so you can be laser focused and help you navigate the messy and the magical in every season of your business. Pull up a seat to hear the tried and true secrets that other female entrepreneurs like you are facing, and get ready for real talk while you learn. This is the Time for You Evolved podcast. Hey there, entrepreneurs, ready to work smarter, not harder? Then you're in for a treat. Let's talk about video marketing, the smart approach that attracts, retains, and converts faster than any other strategy out there. Hey, I get it. Video marketing can be daunting. You know, you should be doing it, but you're not quite ready to take that leap, or you're frustrated because you're not looking like a pro. Hey, I get it. Who can blame you? Creating videos can be frustrating, time-consuming, and downright intimidating. That's where Big View comes in. It's the solution for your frustration. With Big View, you can create professional videos with ease thanks to its teleprompter app. I've been using Big View for years. Did you know that? Big View is an app that has saved me a lot of time and hassle. The app makes it easy to create professional looking videos. It's an online teleprompter that allows the presenter to keep eye contact with the camera while reading the text they need to speak. Using a teleprompter app allows the reader to sound natural without cue cards or notes to fumble or looking down while you're speaking. And the best part is that Big View allows you to focus on your performance and delivery so your confidence shines through. You get to keep eye contact with the camera while you're reading your script. Whether you're a marketer, a blogger, a trainer, a freelancer, a publisher, or business owner, Big View is designed with you in mind. If you're ready to take your video marketing game to the next level, click on the Big View link on my website, lisarcarmichael.com/bigview. Join me and be the best presenter you can be and learn how to make great presentations. And that's lisarcarmichael.com/bigview.
So good morning, Kathy. Welcome to Time for You Evolved, the podcast for female entrepreneurs. I'm super, super honored to have you here with me on the podcast because you are I'm in awe of you. You're an amazing leader and you've done some really amazing things. So if you don't know or haven't heard of Kathy Sullivan, she is the creator of Operation Dignity Ghana. She is a results-driven, innovative leader and has over 25 years of experience in business, in leadership, and operation excellence. And she just has this ability to bridge between people and businesses. And you do have a corporate background. Is that right, Kathy?
Minimal amount. I've
Okay.
always been my own boss because we created businesses.
And isn't that what female entrepreneurs want? They want
Yeah.
to be their own boss. They want to call the shots for themselves. So tell us about your journey, Kathy. Share with our listeners how you became a female entrepreneur and where you're at right now.
I think it started, and thank you for having me, Lisa. I think it started when I was a little girl because I used to create these dramas with my brothers and sisters, and then we would go around afterwards and take an offering. I had them dress up, I wrote out the scripts, but that was my first paying job, was when I was doing those dramas at probably 7, 8, 9 years old. And then I started out into the community promoting other people. Like I would find a cause. It could be for a church that was helping a homeless shelter. And so I would go out door to door, and this was still as a 7, 8, 9 year old, and ask people to help the people in the homeless shelter. So to me, that was my first steps into entrepreneurism because I was out doing for other people. And when we build a business, we're filling a need. And entrepreneurs are people who can find that need and begin to meet it in a very significant way. So then, even as a teenager, I was developing a lot of things in school. They kept telling me, where's all this coming from? And I never knew, but it was very, very interesting because if there was a dance at school and everybody was boo-hooing it because they didn't want to go, then I created another event that had a lot of activities attached to it, and everybody would go to that. And so the school both junior high and high school, the school just got to a place where they said, Kathy, will you come in and help us plan this? And so I think that was basically the roots of my entrepreneurism because there was a need and I began to meet that need and it turned out to be somewhat successful. So then when I met my husband, he was in the restaurant business. When we married, we had 3 restaurants that we owned and worked. Unfortunately, I got pregnant during that early years, 2.5 years. I had 3 children. And so the restaurants had to go because we both couldn't service both of them. So that was kind of my roots to entrepreneurism. And then there's different times that I've helped people through the way because it was easy for me to write a startup business plan. And I didn't even know what I was doing, but I was helping other people start up their businesses. And that was just because it was a love, because I wanted them to succeed in what they were doing.
That's so beautiful. I love your childhood. I can't imagine doing that.
It
Going
drove
door
my
to
mother
door.
crazy because she had 8 kids and I was always instigating something and it was hard to keep up with me.
I bet it was.
Yep.
So were you the oldest?
I was in the middle.
You were in the
There were
middle.
3 older and 4 younger.
Okay. So it just probably was something that you needed to do to keep yourself busy and out of trouble.
No, not out of trouble because I was Miss Perfect student at school. I never got in trouble, never even imagined doing anything that would get me in trouble. But there was always this creative juice going within me about I saw a need and I started something to help meet that need. And again, in my world, that's the true spirit of an entrepreneur.
So Kathy, let's take a step back. So you're a new mom, you have children, you're this entrepreneur, have this entrepreneurial spirit. So you and your husband weren't able to get the restaurant business started. What was next?
It was not that we wanted to get the restaurant business started. We were successful in what we were doing, but my husband then decided to become a pastor. So it changed the trajectory of our time and he could not do both at the same time. So while we were in the churches, we also found this very exciting opportunities that we engaged with other churches. And one of the best loves that we had with these other churches was in the urban area of Chicago. And we used to connect with those churches and we created programs for the inner city, the urban area children. And this was 50 years ago. And it was very exciting because we took them out to farms, we took them out to campgrounds and had a week camping with them. And they had never really seen the stars before. And their eyes were just open in amazement because they had never seen that many stars in the sky before because it was all buried under the clouds of Chicago. And when we took them to farms, they had never seen farm animals before. And I remember the whole group of children were very, very frightened when a cow came up to them and started mooing because they had never experienced that before. So our great love during that time was how could we help other people experience something that will grow their life, that will create something within them, an experience that will cause them to erupt or to develop or to move into something that's challenging and exciting. One of the other things we did, because we had a heart for inner city kids, is on Friday nights, we called it Friday Night Madness. My kids were in elementary school at the time. Every Friday night, we had 50, 60 kids at our house. And in every room, we had a different activity going on. Like in my office, they were building lamps. My dad had a furniture store, and in that furniture store, he had scraps of wood. So we took the scraps of wood, we bought some electrical, and we made lamps. That was an exciting event for the kids. In the kitchen, we were teaching them, I had somebody who was teaching them table etiquette, how to set a table, how to sit down at a table, how to eat a dinner, how to converse at at the table, because those were skills they did not have. They didn't understand it. And then in the bedrooms, we had perhaps a rag making where we would take strips of rags and we would make a rug out of them. And in another room, we had a drama. So in every room, there was something that was going on that was engaging the creativity of children in something that we hoped would create a memory. So that's not exactly what you call creating a business, but it was.
But
Because
it's
there was
so
a need.
beautiful. Uh-huh. Yeah. How neat just to do that for people. And I, even to this day, I'm amazed at looking at the stars. So I can only imagine seeing those for the first time. And you were doing this alongside of being a mom.
Yep. Going to
So,
school.
okay.
All of my
So,
education came as a mom.
oh my goodness. So you not only were being a mom, but you were going to school as well?
Yes. Yep.
Wow. You,
And
that's why you're so amazing.
well, I wouldn't call it amazing, but I did not have an official job, but I was always doing the business part behind whatever Jim and I were involved in, because I was home with the kids and he was out doing, whether it was pastoring or helping people or whatever it was. I was always the business side back at home.
So it would only make sense then that you segued into helping people out in Ghana.
Yes, it was an
And how did
unusual
that,
stretch for us.
okay.
And it happened this way. I had a furniture store and God gifted us with two children. They were quite needy children. And so I needed to give up the furniture store and stay home with them. But there was still this drive within me because I'd been an empty nester for a while that I needed to do something. And I happened to meet a man from Ghana, and he and I did not click on a real familiar kind of way. So I said, go talk to my husband. So Jim and this man from Ghana talked. His name was Bernard. And they talked for a year, and then all of a sudden they decided to go to Ghana. And Jim went to Ghana with him, and he fell in love with the people in Ghana. He fell in love with their spirit. He fell in love with the way they do things. And he came home and he said, Kathy, I think this is what I want to do for our retirement. And I said, Jim, you can do anything you want, but I'm kind of busy, just keep me out of this. Well, it wasn't long before he needed me to write the nonprofit bylaws and the articles of incorporation and the 1023, which is the IRS doning us or saying that we're a charitable organization. So it was easy and gradual that I became very involved with it. And then we began taking medical teams over to Ghana. Then we found out that, oh my goodness, I'm a better straw boss than he is with lots of people. And so I started going over with the medical teams because I was like the bouncer, the commander in chief. Hundreds, and not hundreds, but thousands of people would show up in the morning, early morning for this medical clinic. And somebody had to manage the people. And somebody had to take care of the different things that were going on in the background, and the fathers that brought their children and just left them, or the mother who was having a child who was dying in her arms because of malaria. So that was my job. I was a bouncer. I was in the background. I was taking care of that. And the way that I would tell what was going on is I would just go hug the people. And as I could hug the people, I could hear a little bit of their story, or I could sense a little bit what was going on. So I could either move them to the front of the line or immediately take them in to see the doctor. So that's how I got
So kind of a
involved in Operation
triage,
Dignity. Yep.
more of a triage than a bouncer.
Okay.
So, and you've had multiple visits to Ghana through the years.
We've been working with Operation Dignity for 15 years. And in the beginning, it was mostly my husband that went over, but then we found that it was good for me to go over on some of the trips. So it was both he and I that were going over there.
And then you started taking groups along with you.
Yeah, early on, when we first started, we started taking medical groups. We met this most amazing man called Wayne Street. He is the head trauma nurse at Mayo Hospital in Eau Claire. And he was just fabulous at gathering people and leading people, especially medical teams. And so I did the background of everything else, taking care of the crowds and et cetera. And he took care of all the medical information. And we had a great deal of success taking groups over there because they were experiencing something that they had never experienced before. And that kind of takes me back to those Chicago days. I love when people get engaged in something new and different in their life, a challenge, and they can meet that challenge. And when they meet that challenge, oh my goodness, it's like the stars in the heavens have opened up for them. Their heart opens up, it swells up, and they see the world differently around them.
A lot of times with entrepreneurs, we get stuck in our head, and then we have these bad habits that we create. And I'm just wondering what kind of things that might be like that in Ghana. Do you notice that do they get stuck in their head, or are they just so focused on getting through the day?
It's both, Lisa. They do get stuck in their head because they know how to survive for the day. So that's what they think about. They conquer for the day, but they don't conquer for 2 days. And that's where they get stuck. So the let's call it creative juices. They go out and they collect lumber. They stand by the roadside. They sell the lumber for the day. But they don't consider that if they picked up 2 days, they wouldn't have to keep going out and wasting 2 to 3 hours every day, going out and getting more wood. And so that stuckness, and I'll just call it that because you called it stuck, okay? That stuckness is what hinders them from progressing forward. And with Operation Dignity, we do two specific things. We fill the gaps and we remove the barriers. And some of the gaps is that mental thinking. It's that broadcasting of, if I can just do for tomorrow, then I'll save time by collecting all the wood today.
And I would have to guess that the only way that you can get them to change that is just leading by example.
Leading by example, by model. Yes. We have a farm project going on right now, and we tried 3 years to be able to create a good farming project, and we failed every time because we were using their equipment, which was useless equipment. We tried using their seasonal information, and it just never worked because and that is exactly why they are failing with farming in most of Africa, because they have never seen it successful before. So a group of farmers from the Rochester area, one of the men is on our board of directors, started this Gus farming project. And oh my goodness, they raised money and now they bought their own tractors. They're growing their own corn, but by modeling it, they can see the difference in Ghana. They walk by this farm all the time and they see the difference between their crops and Gus farming crops. Gus farming is a handshake partnership with us. But what it's done that fills our need is we've created jobs, vocations. We're teaching them how to run the big equipment. We're teaching them how to really do farming in a very, very good way. So it's modeling, yes, but it's that learning process that happens in the background.
And from all ages as well over in Ghana, right? They start the children working at a young age.
That's right. The children, and you can see it when you just drive down the roads, 6, 7, 8 years old, out working in the field by themselves with a machete. So they dig a hole, they plant a seed. They dig a hole, they plant a seed. And that's how they weed. And when they water, if it happens to be dry, they have to go down by the river, fill up this bucket, put it on their head, take it to the acre that they're farming, and one by one, they go water the sprouts. So at a very early age, they've learned farming in a good way, but not the best way.
Okay, so I'm going to go off on a tangent with this, but I'm just wondering, At what age do they retire?
Can't.
I didn't think
Interesting.
so. I didn't think so.
Yeah.
But so are they living longer lives because
No.
of being outside? Okay.
The average age is 57 for death.
It, oh my goodness. And a 57-year-old in Ghana, are they just worn out when
They're
you
worn
look
out,
at
but
them?
it's disease ridden too. Too much
Okay.
malaria, too much typhoid, too many of these extraneous illnesses that are going on. And then, yeah, just the hard work just wears their body out. So it's between the two.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So in all of this, have you ever thought about any kind of a marketing strategy? I mean, it just seems like things fell into your lap because you had the right doctor who knew the right people. But was there any kind of thought given to marketing?
We've done marketing all through the 15 years we've been there. I'm actually just recultivating a marketing plan right now, working with the most fabulous woman who is brilliant at this stuff. And she's helping me put together the story. So what we used to do is there was a time when we had 35 acres and we were going to build a medical training center on it for nurses. And it was $5 buys 2 bricks. So we had these big posters up and we were selling bricks all over the place. And it was kind of fun because people actually, if they gave us $5, we gave them 2 bricks. And they kept thinking, well, what am I going to do with this now? Well, go home, put it up on your refrigerator, and look at it all the time to remember what you've done. So yeah, marketing has been a big part of it. But for me, the hardest part is telling the story of the people, because I don't want them to feel like when Kathy tells the story of Ghana, because it's their story, it's their heart, it's their song, that I don't want them to feel like I'm saying these people are so poor because they failed. And I have to be very careful. That's a very sensitive part of what I do, is to tell the story in the light of their need, but also in the light of the wonderful people that they are.
When you leave, are there people that want to come back with you and leave Ghana?
Always, always. And part of it is because their idea of America is we all have disposable income. They don't call it that, but much, much money. Okay. And if they come home with us to America, everything will be perfect for them then.
Mm.
All the time. Yep. Actually, what they do is they say, hey, Brony, and we say, hey, Bibney back. And they're calling us white and we're calling them brown. Okay. And that's just the way that they dialogue. But when they say that, that's their initial engagement into welcome me into my world, but can I join your world too?
Interesting. It makes me wonder how that indoctrination would go, how that would work for them, if it would be just such a huge culture shock.
I
Because
don't
no
like the
one,
word indoctrination, and that's the word everybody uses. Okay. But for Operation Dignity, it's creating a question, creating a thought,
mm,
creating a stimulation where they begin to ask the questions. Like with the farm, how come yours looks different than mine? That's a question. Or will you show me how to do this? Or can I do this? That's the kind of scenario that we're looking for, where they're asking questions
mhm.
rather than us telling them what they can or cannot do.
And I know we all have barriers and difficulties, but I would have to assume that the language barrier has to be the most difficult part of this, or one of the
The
most
language
difficult.
barrier is very difficult because they speak tree, spelled TWI, but it's got kind of a tree, it's a CH sound in there. That is their national language, but they all speak English too. But we
Oh,
always
okay.
have an interpreter because their English is different than ours.
Mm. Hmm.
We were recently there with a medical team, and every team member had an interpreter. And when you sit down with our medical person and they've got a medical person sitting there as a translator, what's very interesting is we're actually working and training and helping them, and they're working and training and helping us. So there's this exchange of ideas and knowledge and information that's just so valuable. It's unbelievable.
Not only everything that you're doing for Ghana, but you are also creating a coaching and consulting business. which makes complete sense because you've done all the work. And I love how you want to use that knowledge to help other people. So, what is this new coaching and consulting business you're starting?
I'm not sure that I have a name for it except for Dr. Kathy, DrKathy. And I'm just
Mm.
getting ready to buy the domains drkathy.org and drkathy.co. But what I found myself doing, Lisa, is I was always helping people put together a business plan. I was always helping people organize their business because organizational design is one of my giftings. And then I was just giving it away for free. And now here I am at a place where I'm thinking, well, why don't I monetize that and help myself right at this time? Um, so the exciting part of that is, and it's not necessarily a gift that I have, but it's an experience that I've had all my life, is when people find a greater purpose in their life, something that goes beyond their everyday work life, their home life, something that connects them to that greater purpose, and they're working towards that in their life, then there's a satisfaction in this aha moment that makes everything else brighter and more beautiful. And if I can help people find that greater purpose and satisfaction, which is what happens on our medical teams when we take people over there, it's just like this epiphany happens. It was like the kids back on Friday Night Madness at our house. It was like this epiphany happens, and there's something that changes within them. I can't exactly explain it, but I would like to be able to help other people find that aha moment.
That's beautiful. I appreciate you doing that because um, there's so much to learn from you. You've walked the walk. Is there anything else that you would like our listeners to know about your journey as an entrepreneur?
Being an entrepreneur, starting a business, seeing a need and actually asking yourself, am I the person to meet that need? Because I can't meet every need out there. So am I the person that could meet that need? Like, why did I start a furniture store? Well, my furniture store was different than if you walked into, gosh, I can't think of any furniture stores right now, home furniture, because mine was unfinished furniture. And every piece of furniture got to create a story. And I painted and stained and just did some different kind of designing on it myself. And for me, it was that creativity that was, it wasn't that the people knew they had a need, but I created a story out of every piece of furniture. So a mom would come in and she had been saving all of her money and now she wanted dressers for all of her kids. And I remember when I got to finish that furniture for her, she became so excited because we talked about her children in the process. And in talking about her children, there was love that was attached to everything that I did. Well, my need was meeting her need, okay? But how did that work with the furniture store? It was easy because it became storytelling. My furniture store became a storytelling point, and people would just come in and tell me their stories of their lives. It was just fascinating. So the hard part of being an entrepreneur is there's a need. Can I meet that need? Am I the person to meet that need, or is it something that somebody else needs to meet? And then startup businesses are always difficult, always difficult. And you have to have the tenacity and the perseverance to be able to go through it, through the hard times, to be able to judge those benchmarks and know when to grow and when to hold. And that's the part that most businesses have the difficulty with. When do I grow? When do I hold?
And when it comes to marketing, people don't see the necessity of it because it's overwhelming. There's so many pieces to it. They think they can do it on their own. Because they feel overwhelmed, they just don't want to do it. And then they stay stuck and struggling, wondering why things aren't moving forward. What other things did you do when it came to marketing that made the difference in your business?
Well, in this particular furniture store, and there were other businesses that we had through the years too, but at this furniture store, I only advertised in the local paper twice a month. My greatest advertising were the stories because it met a need with people and they went out and they told other people. So I measured at that time that 90% of my business was walk-in traffic, not walk-in traffic, it was traffic by word of mouth. And
Mhm.
because somebody heard a story, there was also walk-in traffic. I came to meet the Mama Bear, and Mama Bear's was the name of my furniture store, BARE, because it was unfinished furniture. And so the marketing actually grew around meeting the need of people and telling their stories. So marketing is not necessarily what we think to be a professional out there kind of getting the message out. Marketing to me is, how can I tell the story that gets people excited?
Sounds great. And if you were to give advice to your younger self, Kathy, what what would that advice be?
That's a long list, Lisa. That's a long list. It would be to capture the moments and capitalize on them earlier.
At what age did you complete your doctorate program?
It was 2020 when I completed it. That was 4 years ago, so I was 68.
No regrets.
No regrets. I love learning, and what I learned during those years of schooling, both with that and my MBA program, was actually everything that I was doing for other people. There was a formula and there was a necessity behind it. And I grew in understanding of what that actually was. So no regrets about it at all. I wish I had done it younger, but there was just no way that it could have been, because remember, I did my education as a mom.
And when it comes to surrounding yourself by the right people, did you just find that the right people just naturally gravitated toward what you were working on? Or when you were taking your classes, is that how your circle changed or evolved?
No, actually, finding the right people became a skill because I'm a gregarious person. Lots of people just kind of hung on me all the time. And that wasn't bad, but I didn't need it all the time. I regenerate by being alone and being in a quiet space and reading and etc. So being out there with other people all the time, there were good people, but it was not necessarily that they energized me. And so through the years, if I could give advice to myself as a younger person, it would be learn how to identify those people who truly will feed you and energize you and who are on mission with you. It's not that they have to do it, but they have to be on mission with you, because I can tell you that so many times I've heard, well, that's a ridiculous idea, or you can't do that. Nobody can do that. Or why in the world would you want 50 kids at your house on a Friday night? I heard more of that than anything else. And it was from people that I called friends. So if I could tell myself something as a younger person, it's learn how to define and how to refine the people that I'm engaged with in life. You can have circles of friends, but they all don't have to be part of that close inner circle.
No, they don't. They don't. Well, thank you, Kathy. Thanks for joining us here. Is there any particular way that a person can find you who's listening? And, being that you're starting this new coaching and consulting business, how can they learn more about that?
The best way to find me right now is to go to our website for Operation Dignity International. So it's ODI Ghana, GHANA.org. And there's a place on there that you can message me. You can sign up for the newsletter and just put in there in the little memo, Kathy, contact me about this or that or whatever else. And that's the best place to reach me right now.
And tell the audience again why someone would want to do that.
Because there's a bigger and a greater purpose that everybody needs to be attached to, because that's the energy that drives us. And, whether you go on a trip to Ghana with me, and you don't have to be medical. I had a plumber, I had a builder, I had a mom. I've had people just read to the kids because that's not an experience they have. Whether you go on a trip to Ghana with me, or whether you spend some time coaching or, consulting in your business or whatever it is, there's always something that's going to excite you. And if we can find out that capsule, that excitement, that greater purpose in your life, something that you can attach yourself to that brings that excitement within you, it will generate something significant for you that nobody can touch.
Thank you so much. I have enjoyed this time with you. And for our listeners, again, this is Dr. Kathy Sullivan, and you can find her on her website. Just having a conversation is probably the best thing that you can do, because there's so much to learn from this woman, from this female entrepreneur.
I appreciate it, Lisa. And you know what? You are a star in my life too, because I have enjoyed getting to know you over the last year and watching you as a very quiet person in the background move people in a significant way. And you do move the crowd, but you do it silently from the back. That's an amazing little trick.
It's kind of fun. So, well, I appreciate you. Thanks again, Kathy. Because I've been working with Kathy for over a year, and let me tell you, Kathy is like a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day. The experience of seeing the bright stars. Again, I'm very excited for her coaching and consulting business because I know that you'll feel supported and motivated and ready to chase your dreams like Kathy has.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Time for You for Female Entrepreneurs. If you loved this episode as much as I did, head on over and rate and subscribe so you never miss an episode. New episodes drop every week, and if you want to support the show, leaving a review goes a long way. A special shout out to our amazing partners and sponsors. Their support allows us to continue bringing you engaging content every week. And with that, a big thank you. I look forward to seeing you next time. If you're ready to supercharge your email marketing and automation game, look no further than my favorite autoresponder, ActiveCampaign. It's the ultimate all-in-one platform designed to turn your contacts into customers and your customers into loyal advocates. Imagine having a tool that not only understands your customers, but anticipates their needs. That's what ActiveCampaign does. With its powerful customer experience automation, you can create personalized journeys that nurture leads, drive sales, and build lasting relationships. The biggest reason I chose ActiveCampaign after trying other autoresponders is because I wanted to make sure my emails were being delivered and not going into spam. I need to know that my emails actually get to the people I'm emailing so that I have good engagement rates, response rates, and click-through rates on every email I create. Then I can have peace of mind that what I send out about my blog posts or upcoming events gets delivered and that people get to read what I write. And since it's just me, using ActiveCampaign saves me a bunch of time because I've been setting up automations that I can just drag and drop, allowing me to save hours of time. Not only have their pre-built automations and integrations saved me time, I'm able to power a personalized marketing plan throughout the customer's life cycle. In the end, I really want to personalize my message and make sure that each person is getting a unique email tailored to them because I don't want to be sending bulk cookie cutter emails. I want to make sure that my customers and community is getting things that are tailored to them as much as I can. Email marketing doesn't have to be crazy where you're not just pushing information. ActiveCampaign teaches you how to be pulling information as well. I appreciate the value I've received from ActiveCampaign when it comes to creating and managing email campaigns. The support through webinars, live chats, and live study halls have been very helpful in maximizing their platform and a great alternative to those other email services I've tried in the past. ActiveCampaign allows me to build a business without relying on advertising. It has simplified my marketing processes, saving me time, which allows me to focus on what I do best, serving my customers. Whether you're a small business or just starting or a seasoned entrepreneur, ActiveCampaign scales to meet your needs and grows with you. If you're ready to up your marketing game, go to my website, lisarcarmichael.com/ActiveCampaign. That's my partner link, and sign up for a free trial. Experience firsthand the power of ActiveCampaign and take your marketing to a new level. Don't miss out. Stay ahead and stay automated with ActiveCampaign. Go to lisarcarmichael.com/ActiveCampaign for your free trial. Hi friends. Today, let's have a heart-to-heart about something that's been a significant part of my life, skincare. As a busy female entrepreneur, I need a skincare routine that's quick, easy, and super effective. Turning 60 didn't bother me because I've been taking care of my skin every day for 20 plus years. I didn't always, but I'm glad I did start when I did. Let's fast forward to 1 year ago, and let me tell you about a game changer for me. I stumbled across my secret weapon, Droplet. Droplet is not your typical skincare company. It's a revolutionary approach that delivers personalized monthly skincare subscriptions tailored to your specific skin type. The magic lies in the Droplet Micro Infuser, a device that creates microscopic droplets from formulated capsules, expelling them at a high velocity to infuse ultra-concentrated active ingredients deep into your skin. Now, I'm a self-proclaimed skincare junkie. I've tried it all, from serums to spa treatments, and even once selling a natural body care line. So when I heard about Droplet, I knew I had to give it a shot. I can confidently say it's made a remarkable difference in my skin and my routine. The Droplet Skincare Micro Mist Infusing Device is a game changer. It uses a gentle mist to penetrate ingredients 20 times deeper through micro mist technology. It works with formulated capsules similar to an espresso machine, allowing you to infuse the treatments that are right for you into, not just onto, your skin. Here's how Droplet works. Choose your serum, collagen, retinol, glycolic acid, or maybe a lip plumper. Insert the capsule, hold the device to your face, and press the button. A fine mist of the serum is released onto your skin, targeting your face, your neck, chest, anywhere you want to focus on. These misting capsules have transformed my skincare routine. The results are incredible, from increased resilience to fading hyperpigmentation. Why do I love Droplet? It's quick, easy, and the capsules are recyclable. No cleanup, no hassle. And here's the bonus. Droplet's formulas are clinical strength, dermatologist recommended, cruelty-free, sulfate-free, paraben-free, gluten-free, soy-free, fragrance-free, and vegan-free. It's a skincare lover's dream. If you're looking to level up your skincare routine and evolve beyond the basics, Droplet is your answer. Plus, they offer free skin consultations with their estheticians to address your skin concerns. Investing in a good skincare routine and self-care is crucial for any woman, especially us busy entrepreneurs. First impressions matter, and you want to put your best face forward. It's time to evolve and embrace the next level of skincare. Head over to the Droplet link on my website today, where you can start your own personalized Droplet routine. Here's to glowing, radiant, and fiercely beautiful you, no matter what age you are. Go to lisarcarmichael.com/droplet.